been there.
I haven't, sorry, no, I haven't.
And we are live now. We're just waiting on our members to join us. They're all popping in now.
Hello, good afternoon, Commissioners. Ryan, I'm just wondering if you might turn your camera on if you're there. Thank you very much. Well, I hope you're all well. We're just still waiting on Commissioner Adair, but we may, we
Haven't heard from
okay, well, we'll
we've got
start
quorum, so
we do have quorum and we will start the meeting. So I'd like to welcome you all to the WAPC meeting of the 15th of May 2025. Today we are here to consider a significant development, Part 17 proposed extension. And I'd like to welcome all of you online and from in person today to the meeting. Commission members may refer to technical devices throughout the meeting to assist them in considering the information before them. And I'd like to start the meeting by acknowledging that we're meeting on the lands of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation and pay our respects to elders past and present. In person today from the Commission, we have myself, Emma Cole, Chairperson, and Commissioner Brooks. And online, we welcome Commissioner Hall, Commissioner Shears, Commissioner Sandry, and Commissioner Leahy, and Commissioner Adair. Welcome, Commissioner Adair. If you wouldn't mind turning on your camera, that would be appreciated. In terms of apologies and leave of absence, we do have apologies from Commissioner Bennett and Commissioner Heron. In relation to disclosures of interest on this item 4.1, Commissioner Heron has declared an indirect pecuniary interest in that Commissioner Heron has advised his employee of Urbis and Urbis is acting for the applicant. So Commissioner Heron has opted not to attend the meeting. And in terms of Commissioner Bennett has a conflict in that she has her EPA meeting today, but not a conflict of interest, just to be clear. Disclosures of representation. Members, are there any disclosures to make where contact has been made here at the meeting? There are none, thank you very much. And declaration of due consideration. Can all members please indicate that they have received and considered the agenda ahead of today's meeting? Thank you very much all. So deputations and presentations. Sam, are you happy to talk us through this one?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. We have one deputation this afternoon on the Part 17, on item 4.1, Part 17 development application for the proposed extension to substantial commencement period for the shopping centre expansion at Westfield, Booragoon. And we are walking Farida Farag, Karen Knight, Peter Fitzgerald, Ben Manton and Darren Evans via Zoom this afternoon. So I'll just promote you to panellists via Zoom. If you can ensure that your audio and video is turned on so you may participate in the meeting. Thank you. Good afternoon, Farida. I am trying to promote you to panelist. If you can accept that request to ensure that you can participate in the meeting, please. Just having some technical issues here. I might just give them a quick call. A really weird number here. 0893. Find that right number. That's not the right number. I just tried 0493. It's not the right number.
Do you have any contact, Sam, or just that they come?
No, they just keep declining. They just keep declining the ability to be promoted to panelist via Zoom.
Just trying to contact the applicant.
Unfortunately, we don't have the right number for them.
So Farida has raised her hand, so I'm not sure if you can send us a message.
Farida, if you can hear us via the Zoom, could you please send us a message with the best contact number for you? Oh, there we go. We seem to have made connection with you now.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm just receiving some echo at yours.
About that. Yes, I've just joined off my laptop.
So welcome to the meeting.
Good afternoon, WAPC Chair and Commissioners. Is it okay if we begin our deputation now?
Yes, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
So my name is Farida Farag. I'm representing Urbis on behalf of Sena Group, the proponent of the substantial commencement extension request for the Westfield Warragoon Shopping Centre expansion. I'm joined today by Urbis Regional Director Karen Wright and Sena Group Development Executive Darren Evans. We're pleased to see the officer's recommendation of support and are grateful for the time and effort invested in working with us through the assessment process. Commissioners, as highlighted in the assessing officer's report, where there have been no changes to the applicable planning framework provisions specific to our site, and there have been no objections received from government agencies, including Main Roads WA, the Department of Transport, and the City of Melville. So since the project's approval in 2023, Sena Group have actively and conscientiously sought to implement the approval, fully recognising and sharing the community's excitement to see the centre expansion underway. Sena Group have demonstrated a strong commitment to proceed with the development, but for the reasons outlined in our application, substantial commencement hasn't been achieved within the 2 years. 2-year approval period was hasn't been achieved within the 2-year approval period. As you will note, Sena Group has provided a revised works program showing that the proposal can achieve substantial commencement within the requested timeframe extension to February 2029. The requested extension will enable Sena Group to continue collaborating with the City of Melville, creating a true town centre as envisaged by the Melville City Centre Structure Plan. We're seeking no other variations to the balance of approval conditions, approved uses, or the approved design, which have been proposed within the initial application. We respectfully request the WAPC's support of the extension in line with the officer's recommendation. Thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to your approval, and we would be pleased to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Farida and Karen and Darren, for joining us today. It's Emma Cole, Chair, speaking. I'll just go to the members now to see if there are any questions of you. Members, are there any questions? Commissioner Lake.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick question. Thank you for your presentation, Farida. I'm just questioning the 4 years. Why such a long period of extension, and if it's ready to commence, or why 4 years? Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner Paul. So as outlined in our application, we've presented a revised program of works. Some of those items are confidential. I understand this is a public meeting. Is it possible to go behind closed doors to answer this question?
That is a good question. Probably what I would say is, Commissioner Lakey, is there any additional questions that you have that are supplementary to the confidential?
No, it is around that. Yeah, so no more additional questions other than that.
Did you want to go to any of the detail, or would you like to go to confidential session for the question to be answered more fully?
Sorry, was that me, Chair?
Yes.
Yes, I'd be happy to have that in confidential discussion.
All right.
We are, sorry, Chair, we are going to be a little challenged in that for us to stop the live stream, we need to connect everyone in possibly over mobile phone and communicate with them that way. So we are a little bit challenged by our live streaming abilities in terms of the technical setup in order to do that. So we can absolutely do that.
Excuse me, WAPC Chair, we would be happy to give a high-level response to the question on the stream if that's helpful.
So yes, if you could start by speaking to us in a way that doesn't breach.
Yes, sure.
I'm happy to answer the question. Hi, Commissioners. Darren Evans from Centre Group. I guess the short answer is it's a complex project, a very large, complex project. It's dealing with a live site, an operational centre in a challenging environment. We are a large part of the centre, and the first stages is detailed designed already. We have been through pricing. I think it's a reasonable time period to ensure that we can get a major project going in this difficult climate. Obviously, we've been working very hard for 2 years, and it has been challenging to be able to proceed with the proposal. I think the 4 years is a reasonable period to enable a project of this size to come together. We are looking to precinct or stage the project. So part of the review at the moment is to look at how we can break the project up into smaller chunks and continue with getting the project going. Karen, did you have anything to add? Or?
No, just to reiterate, really due to the scale of the project, and it's probably quite typical at the moment in the current Perth market that a project of this scale is taking up to that sort of 4-year period.
Commissioner Loken, does that satisfy your question, or do you wish to explore the more confidential details?
I guess it does, Chair. I mean, I've obviously read the detail. It was good to get that verbalised, and the assurance that work is continuing on bringing this project to life, I think, is the main thing.
Okay. Members, are there any other questions? Frida, perhaps I could also ask a question on the time frame, just referring to the information that's in the public report. It does talk about substantial commencement of stage 1 works by February 2029, and even with a 4-year time frame, that is reasonably tight. Is this the sort of outermost time frame, and have you built into this any sort of complexity or time time blowouts that may arise? Because with the 4-year extension, that would take you through to May 2029.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, so Centre Group have undertaken a very detailed program review and have mapped out construction commencement dates, which we've listed as, so construction documentation would be completed by Q3 of 2028, giving them that comfort and confidence that they will have substantially commenced by the February 2029 date. And that does take into account contingency periods.
So I guess my question is this a conservative estimate? Because the first part of the program, the project review, testing, market engagement and retailer pre-commitment finalisation by Q4 2027, that is some time away. Is this a conservative estimate, or is this very, very closely what you intend to adhere to?
Yeah, so we would suggest that in the current market, it's a realistic estimate. I don't think that there was any intention to be too conservative in the scheduling, but also wanted to come back to the Commission with something that was quite realistic given the current circumstances. The project and the program, it's probably not too dissimilar to other projects that Centre Group has undertaken. So obviously quite experienced with other projects that have been undertaken in Perth and in Western Australia. So we feel that it is a pretty reasonable program that has been put back to the WAPC.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Reid. I appreciate that. Are there any other questions, members? Okay, well, thank you very much for your deputation today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also noting that we have received a written deputation from Steve Walker as a private citizen, and that has been provided to all members as part of the agenda pack for you all today. So we will then move on to item 3, presentation of key issues by Paula Perner, who is the Planning Director of the State Assessment, State Development Assessment Group.
Thank you, Chair. In terms of, pardon me, in terms of covering off the key issues, the considerations that have been given have been outlined in the report. I do just want to touch on a couple of matters that was raised in the written deputation. Just to clarify that the consultation that has been undertaken associated with this application has been consistent with the established processes for the Part 17 pathway. That concerns raised as part of the written deputation relative to the subject amendment have been read and considered in the context of the department's assessment, and has been addressed throughout the report and considered in the recommendation being presented. For the benefit of the public, the Commission receives a full copy of all submissions, and all those submissions are considered in depth as part of the assessment of the application. And it concludes in the matter being presented to the Commission in the report that's presented. I'm happy to take any further questions.
Thank you, Carol. Are there any questions, Carol? There are no questions. All right, members, we'll then move to consideration of item 4.1, which is the Part 17 development application for the proposed extension to substantial commencement period for shopping centre expansion at Westfield Booragoon at 125 Risley Street and 10 Almondbury Road and 173 Davey Street in Booragoon. Members, could I please call for a mover and seconder? Moved by Commissioner Adair, seconded by Commissioner Lakey. Do you wish to speak to the item, Commissioner Adair?
No, Chair, I think it's self-explanatory. I think under the current market, it's kind of to be expected. It's a bit disappointing that this didn't happen earlier, the consideration of the current market. But anyway, here we are, and so I'm happy to support it.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Adair. Commissioner Lakey? Anything to add?
Nothing. Thank you, Chair, for me to add. Thank you.
Any further comments from members? I'd just like to note that I know that the City of Melbourne hasn't raised a submission today, but just wanted to acknowledge that they are dependent on this development going ahead in terms of their main street and their plans there. That has, that just thought that was worth a mention, but I think that the market conditions are quite clear, so happy to support. Any further debate? Any dissent to the item? Thank you very much. That is carried. In relation to item 5, State Administrative Tribunal applications, we have the renewable energy facility, the wind farm in Broomhill West, and we also have the Claysbrook Road concrete batching plant. Are there any questions on the SAT items? Thank you very much. And item 6, any urgent or other business to raise? No, thank you very much. Well, I thank you for your attendance today, this afternoon, and declare the meeting closed at 2:20.